Hi, I am your AI guide. Today we are answering a practical question that comes up a lot. Can you trust ChatGPT? The honest answer is yes and no. ChatGPT can be extremely useful, but it is not a guaranteed source of truth. It can produce an answer that sounds confident even when the details are incomplete, outdated, or wrong. That is why trust is not about believing everything or doubting everything. Trust is about using the tool the right way for the situation. The first idea you need is a simple trust ladder. Instead of asking whether you can trust ChatGPT, ask how risky it would be if the answer were wrong. When the stakes are low, you can move fast and use the tool freely. When the stakes are higher, you slow down and verify what matters. When the stakes are very high, you treat the tool as support, not authority. Low stakes is the bottom level of the ladder. This is where ChatGPT is usually safe and valuable, because you are using it for drafts and ideas. You might use it to write an email, brainstorm options, outline a plan, rewrite text more clearly, or summarize your own notes. If the output is slightly wrong, you can fix it quickly and nothing serious happens. In this zone, the goal is speed, clarity, and momentum. Medium stakes is the middle level of the ladder. This is where you can still use ChatGPT, but you should verify important details before you act. Medium stakes includes anything you might send to a client, publish publicly, or rely on for a real decision. ChatGPT can give you a strong starting point, but details like names, dates, requirements, steps, and specific claims should be treated as unconfirmed until you check them. The tool can help you think, but you should not let it quietly decide for you. High stakes is the top level of the ladder. This includes health, legal, finance, safety, and job impact decisions. In these situations, ChatGPT should be treated as support, not final authority. It can help you understand a topic in plain language, list questions to ask, compare options in a general way, and organize what you already know. However, you should verify through qualified sources and professionals before you rely on the output. If being wrong could affect your safety, your money, your rights, or your career, you do not guess, and you do not outsource responsibility to a chat. Once you have the trust ladder, you need a quick way to verify answers without turning everything into a research project. The routine is simple and it works in daily life because it focuses on what matters. Step 1 is identifying the key claims. A key claim is a detail that changes what you will do next, such as a deadline, a requirement, a dosage instruction, a technical setting, a price, or a step-by-step process. Most answers contain only a few key claims that truly matter, so you start by finding those. Step 2 is spot-checking those key claims with primary sources or a second reliable reference. Primary sources are official or original sources, such as a government page, a company policy page, a product manual, or official documentation. If you cannot access a primary source quickly, you use a second reliable reference that is known for accuracy in that area. You are not trying to read everything. You are trying to confirm the few claims that would cause harm or wasted time if they were wrong. Step 3 is doing a sanity check for numbers, names, dates, and logic. This catches a lot of the most common errors. Numbers can be off by a factor of 10. Names can be slightly wrong. Dates can be swapped. Steps can be in the wrong order. Logic can sound smooth while missing a critical condition. A sanity check means you ask basic questions, like whether the number makes sense in the real world, whether the date is plausible, and whether the conclusion actually follows from the facts. If the answer feels too clean, too certain, or too perfect, that is a reason to verify more, not less. Another powerful habit is learning how to ask ChatGPT to show uncertainty and assumptions. ChatGPT often gives one clean answer, but real life has edge cases, missing context, and multiple valid interpretations. You can ask it to list the assumptions it is making, and you can ask what details would change the answer. You can also ask which parts of the answer are most likely to be wrong, and what you should verify first. This turns the tool into a thinking partner instead of a confident announcer, and it helps you avoid acting on hidden assumptions that do not match your situation. Now let us talk about privacy, because trust is not only about accuracy. Trust is also about what you share. A simple rule is that you should not paste anything you would not be comfortable exposing if it leaked. That means you should not paste passwords, verification codes, recovery links, or login details. You should not paste bank details, credit card details, full account numbers, or private identification numbers. You should not paste sensitive client data, confidential business information, or internal documents that are not meant to be shared. You should not paste private medical information, especially if it includes identifying details. Even when you trust the tool, it is smart to share only what is necessary. The best way to get help while protecting privacy is to sanitize your prompts with placeholders. Sanitizing a prompt means removing sensitive details while keeping the structure of the request. You replace real names with labels like client contact and client company. You replace addresses with office address. You replace logins with login placeholder. You replace internal tickets with support ticket placeholder. If a specific detail matters for the format, you can describe the type of information without revealing it, such as saying there is a reference code without pasting the real code. Here is a clear micro-example. An unsafe prompt might say, "Please write a contract renewal email to a real client and include the real client contact name and the real company name." It might also ask you to paste internal support notes and the client complaint, and include the office address and the login details the client shared for testing. That is unsafe because it includes identifying client information, internal notes, private complaints, and login details, which is far more sensitive information than you need to generate a good draft. A safer prompt gets the same outcome without the risk. A sanitized version might say, "Please write a professional contract renewal email to client contact at client company. Mention that the renewal is coming up soon and recap the value we delivered. Reference a recent service issue in a general way and confirm that it was resolved. Ask what the best next step is and offer to schedule a short call. Keep the tone confident, clear, and friendly." After you get the draft, you reinsert real names, exact dates, and confidential specifics offline, inside your own document or email tool, not inside the chat. Now let us wrap up with the takeaways. You should verify what matters, not everything, and you should use the trust ladder to match trust to stakes. You should use the 3-step routine by identifying key claims, spot-checking them with reliable sources, and sanity-checking numbers, names, dates, and logic. You should ask for uncertainty and assumptions when an answer affects real decisions, and you should treat ChatGPT as support, not final authority in high-stakes areas. Finally, you should protect sensitive information by not pasting passwords, account details, sensitive client data, or private medical information, and by using placeholders so you can get help without exposing what should stay private.